What's going on, Harrison Extended Family? Thank you guys so much for watching. Um, Back in 2010, I had a chance to meet my father for the first time. Father's Day, at the time of this recording, is tomorrow. So Father's Day in 2023 is tomorrow. It's Saturday, and we are celebrating Father's Day tomorrow. And I first met my father, my biological father, Irving Rivera, in 2010. It might have been 2011. And it was a great time for me because I never thought I would have had a chance to meet my father. Never would have thought that, and I had amazing men in my life. My brother's father, Alvin, was always a dad to me, my uncle, my godfather. But I always wanted to know who my father was, and I assumed that he was dead. Until his sister, Sarah, my Aunt Sarah, reached out to me on Facebook and asked me, "Is your mother's name Gloria? If so, I'm your aunt." So I reached back to her. It took her maybe a couple of weeks to write me back. I was all excited, like, yeah, I want to meet my aunt. This is really my aunt. It turns out it was. And she told me that my father was still alive because I had assumed him to be dead. My mother always told me that he did love us and that she figured something happened to him because he probably would not have went all these years without trying to make contact. So I had a chance to meet my father. And the last memory I have of him before that was what I thought was a reoccurring dream, but it really wasn't. It was actually a memory of the last day I saw him when I was a child, when he and my mom got into an argument. And my mother was holding me and I was in a towel, right? And I remember there being an argument in the living room. I remember looking into the mirror and seeing them, right? She was holding me and I was looking in the mirror in our apartment. And then the last moment I saw him in that image, in that memory, what I thought was a dream, was him walking down the stairs and waving goodbye. And when he read that part in the book I wrote, he said that was an exact description of the last day he saw me and my twin sister. And after 2010, 2011, we started developing a relationship. They had some highs and lows. And again, like I was in a situation where I was at that point a single father trying to raise my 3 sons by myself. At that point, ex-wife left. It was just me and my sons. And I was navigating fatherhood. And I never really had a consistent father figure to glean from, to learn from, to model, to look at as an example of what it meant to be a dad. So I was not more or less winging it. I was just playing everything safe, trying to do my best to be a good example and raise my kids right in a disciplined, structured home that was filled with love, right? I had to be the nurturer and the protector, provider, and all those things. I was everything. But I had excitement getting the chance to meet my father and develop a relationship with him. And growing up, I only met my grandfather one time. He had no interest in seeing us or whatever. On my mother's side, I never had a chance to meet my grandparents on my father's side because I was 30 and both of them had passed away when I first met my father. So, and you know, if you guys are a watcher of the channel, like I grew up with my mother's mother, my grandmother, and she was amazing. Like she was absolutely the joy of my heart. And, you know, we started developing a relationship, and my sons developed a relationship with him. He was teaching my oldest son how to do repairs in homes. They were spending a lot of time together. He came to the house. I spent time with my kids. My kids knew who he was. My father's Puerto Rican, so you know he has this Puerto Rican pride. And I remember the first time I met him, he was with my aunt Anita, his sister, And she told me, well, now that you know your father, you need to change your last name to Rivera. I was like, no, I'm gonna keep Harrison. I like Harrison. And check this out. And as a child, when I was a teenager, I desired to know my father so much, and I wanted to identify with him so much that I started, not in the legal sense, but I started to hyphenate my name from Andre Harrison to Andre Harrison Rivera, because I just wanted to know who my father was. And on Tuesday morning, I wake up. This past Tuesday, I woke up to missed calls from my sister. My father had drove down to Atlanta to visit my sister Stacy, and I knew he was going because we had made plans for him to come visit me this weekend or next weekend. He was going to come and help me do some work in my backyard, help me set up my pool, put together a pergola, and do some put some pavers in my backyard for where the pergola is, and get some of these. I have like these bushes that grow, right? And I installed a fence around my house, so my yard. So I had these bushes that grow right next to the fence that I want out, and he was going to help me do that. But probably in the next couple of weeks. But I just want him to come by so that we can chill, because I haven't had a chance to see him in a while. But we talked on the phone or through Facebook, and we would get into some contentious discussions on Facebook and stuff like that. And even on the phone, we had to call him and check him on a couple of things. But this past Tuesday, he was out there visiting my sister, and I think it was a little bit after midnight. Well, I woke up. Let me say it like this. I woke up to missed calls from my sister, and a text message saying, call me as soon as possible. I woke up about 4:30 because I had to use the bathroom. I saw my phone. I checked my phone. I looked at my phone and checked my time. I saw a missed call. Like, I never get calls at night. And when I go to sleep, I sleep. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but I sleep with my phone on mute, because I could put it on Do Not Disturb, but some people just, call me. And I've had people, because my first name begins with an A, I've had people butt dial me by accident in the middle of the night, and my phone's going off. And I have to wake up to see what it was. So I always keep my phone on mute. And when I woke up, I called her right away. And the first thing she told me was that he was gone. Now, a couple of days ago, before that, he posted up a picture in the hospital in Atlanta, but it turned out just to be gas. So he wound up getting out. And when she told me he was gone, I was like, I know he posted a picture in the hospital, but I hit him up. Like, he was fine. She said, no, he had gotten into a car accident. And when the police and ambulance arrived, he was DOA. This happening less than a week before Father's Day. And I spent the past couple of days processing all of this, which is why I had a live stream scheduled on Tuesday. I couldn't do it. I postponed it to Friday and couldn't do it then. I just wanted to just relax. My mind wasn't there. And it's Saturday morning now. And I figured, let me record this video. And so yeah, I'm celebrating Father's Day a week before my father passed. A week after my father passed, for that matter. And I don't know how to process this. I'm gonna be honest with you, because it's when you're counseling people going through things like this, you always have the right words to say. But when you're trying to encourage yourself, it's hard to find the words. My father was an interesting character. He was full of life, full of controversy, but full of life. And he genuinely loved people. And sometimes he couldn't understand why people didn't love him the way he loved them. But objectively speaking, I love him. But sometimes he can be a little much, right? It's like, hey, Dad, like, you just got to tone it down a little bit, relax. Yeah, he was always, he was a character. And my wife saw a video that my sister sent me that she took of him while he was out there before he passed. And she looked at the video and she says, you were so him. It was crazy. Like, I guess some of his mannerisms I have, and I wasn't raised with him, so maybe I developed them genetically. Maybe it was just in the genes. But yeah. But I'm going into Father's Day this Father's Day. Go tomorrow without my father. And this is me processing, because I'm thinking I've spent 30 Father's Days without him. 12 of which I was a father myself. And it's like, now it's weird because I spent the last 13 Father's Day with him. Well, 12, and this is the 13th. And he's not here. And as had me like reflecting on me, what I could have done differently, like spending more time with him. My sons, Gabriel and Isaiah, both were in tears, and they had the same sentiment that they wish they had a chance to spend more time with him. And I don't want you guys to have that kind of feeling. And I know I'm a father, and maybe this may sound a little biased, but I'm not alone in saying this and feeling this way. Many of us don't feel appreciated. Many of us will do 100% and work 100% to make sure that our families are fine, safe, provided for, loved, cared for. And in return, we don't get virtually any appreciation. And even on the one day that it's supposed to be a day where fathers are celebrated, it's very minimal. Those are days that we try to spend time with our fathers and stuff like that. But we allowed holidays to regulate how and when we appreciate the fathers in our lives. And I don't want you having to feel this way when you lose your father. One thing that is certain in life is that everybody's going to die. But when my grandmother passed away, I was with her every day for almost 2 years. Every day. Not a day passed that I didn't go see her. And even if like a day almost passed, I'm going over there like almost to midnight to go make sure she's okay. When she passed, I was at peace. I spent so much time with her throughout my whole life. My father, not so much. And I could have done more to spend time with him, more time with him, And I don't want you guys to feel that way when you're in a situation where you have to say goodbye to your father. There may be some sources of contention there, maybe some unresolved issues, but you have control of that. You can take the first step to solve whatever issues you may have with your father. Because when you lose him, you may be thinking to yourself, I wish I've done more to fix the relationship. I wish I've done more to spend more time with him. I wish I've done more to have my kids around him more. And if you have a great relationship with your father, praise God. Make sure you hold on to that relationship tight. And if you can, if it's within your power, try to fix any kind of challenges that you guys have in your relationship. Because when you lose your father, it's a tough thing. When you lose any parent, it's very difficult. especially the less than a week before Father's Day. So I'm processing all of this. Ups and downs, highs and lows. And usually I do very well with death. I understand death to be a part of life. I mourn, but not like how people mourn. I process, not how like people process. I believe that God is sovereign and every man has a point to live and a point to die. And I believe in God's plan for life. So, but this situation is very different because I could have done more to spend more time with my father. And it wasn't like, we hated each other. We loved each other. But he didn't have a car for a while, and he just got a car. He was excited about his car. And now he's like, yeah, I'm coming to go see you, but I'm going to go to Atlanta first to see his sister and then come up to see you. And then he hasn't had a chance to see my grandkids yet. He never met his great grandkids. And he made plans with my oldest to go up there to New Hampshire to see them. And a week before Father's Day, he gets into a car accident and he passes away. We can't control how life lives. Life is going to life. And it's unpredictable. We make plans for tomorrow and we could be gone yesterday or today. Yeah, don't waste no more time. If it's in with your power to make things right with your father, to see your dad, do it. Do it. One of the things that is going to happen in the last days is that God's going to restore the hearts of the fathers to their children. And he did that with my father. We were able to develop a relationship. So, my encouragement to you: spend more time with your father. Allow your kids to spend time with him too. Because feeling like you could have done more to spend time with your father after your father has passed is not a good feeling at all. It's not a good feeling at all. All right? Love you all. Appreciate you all. And thank you for watching this video. And please keep my family in prayer. All right. Peace.